Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand is speaking with reporters regarding what's been going on in Mexico.
Sinaloa, including Mazatlan, Quintana Roo, including Cancun, Baja California, including Tijuana and Tecate, Nayarit. I am in contact with my Mexican counterpart, who expects the situation to normalize in the coming days. Our ambassador and consular staff are working with their counterparts to ensure that Canadians remain safe. Last evening, we updated our travel advisory to first expand the list of affected areas, to alert that volatility may continue to spread, and 3, align travel advisories with that of our peers. Local authorities have, in some cases, issued a shelter-in-place order, and the situation remains fluid. All Canadians in affected regions should heed the direction of local authorities and travel only when it is safe to do so. As of 7 o'clock this morning, 26,305 Canadians in Mexico have registered with Global Affairs Canada. That is an increase of nearly 8,000 from the same time yesterday. Registration is voluntary. We know that the actual number of Canadians in Mexico is likely much higher. In the last 24 hours, Canada's Emergency Watch and Response Centre has received 440 calls from Canadians who are seeking information about flights and travel advisories. Global Affairs Canada is adding additional surge personnel to handle the increased call volume. A word of encouragement: all Canadians traveling or living abroad are strongly encouraged to register with Global Affairs in order to receive timely updates and information about the ongoing situation and travel advice. We have seen Canadians register in the thousands just in the last 24 hours. I would like to give you the telephone number for Canadians to register: 613-996-8885, sos@international.gc.ca. Canadians should also monitor airlines' communications for the status of their flights. We are in contact with the airlines and with Mexican authorities to ensure that service is safely restored as soon as possible. The safety and security of Canadians abroad remains our highest priority. We are going to continue to provide updates to you as the situation evolves. I ask that all Canadians follow local guidelines, including sheltering in place, if that is what local guidelines are dictating. Bonjour, merci de vous joindre à moi.
Thank you for joining me today. So I want to offer an update on the safety situation, security situation, and this situation is fluid now in Mexico. First, the regions of Mexico are the state of Jalisco, including the Guerrero state, including Acapulco, the state of Michoacan, the state of Sinaloa, including Mazatlan, the state of Quintana Roo, including Cancun, Baja California, including Tijuana and Tecate, and Nayarit. I remain in contact with my Mexican counterpart, who said that he anticipates that the situation will normalize in the next few days. The local authorities have emitted orders of sheltering in place in some localities, and the situation remains fluid. As I said, all Canadians who are in the affected regions must follow the directives of local authorities and not travel only once it is safe. At 7 a.m. this morning, approximately 26,000 Canadians were in Mexico had registered to International Affairs Canada, which is an increase of almost 8,000 people in the last 24 hours. As the registration is voluntary, we know that the real number of Canadians in Mexico is probably much higher. Over the past 24 hours, the Surveillance Center and Interventions Center, the Emergency Intervention Center of Canada, has received 440 calls from people looking for information on flights and travel advisories. Global Affairs Canada is reinforcing its staffing to face the increase of volume of calls. All Canadians traveling abroad are encouraged to register. The email address is sos@international.gc.ca. Canadians must also follow communications from airline companies to know the state of their flights. The security of all Canadians abroad remains our absolute priority. Thank you, and I can take some questions now.
Issues with the ROCA system. You're asking today that people register, but that wasn't in your tweets yesterday. It wasn't in the departments. It said to follow local advisories, reach out if you need help. Now you're asking people to register. I'm wondering if that's on purpose, because we know that there were issues with the system. We've heard from multiple Canadians that the website has crashed. What is the status of the ROCA system? Have there been issues? And was it deliberate that it was MPs asking people to register and not the actual department and minister?
Actually, our ROCA system is working well. You can see that in the fact that 8,000 Canadians have registered in the last 24 hours. With the surge in volume, there was initially technical difficulties. Those were resolved late in the day yesterday and allowed the registrations to continue unimpeded. As I said, 8,000 registrations in the last 24 hours, 440 calls. Our system in Consular Affairs is working well. In addition to the registration and the call center, we also have consular officials on the ground at several locations in Mexico. I have here a map of Mexico, and if you take a look at this map, we have multiple consular officials at the major centers. They are all standing by, ready to assist Canadians. And I want to assure Canadians that we are leaving no stone unturned to ensure that we are providing the most accurate advice possible, and we are doing that on a rolling basis. As you have seen, I issued 2 statements yesterday. In addition to that, we have our call center highly active. We are receiving thousands, 8,000 in particular, registrations. So I want to vociferously underline that our system is working well, and where there are kinks, we are addressing them, and it is functioning well at this time.
Do you believe that President Sheinbaum has the situation under control?
I am concerned with the safety and security of Canadians first and foremost. In answer to your question, in my conversation with Foreign Minister de la Fuente last evening, he indicated that the situation should stabilize in the coming days, and that this was a targeted operation which will not continue.
Been triggered by this, Minister. This seems to have, all this violence has been triggered by the security operation. Given the number of Canadians that were there, were you given any warning that this security operation was going to take place?
I was not provided with any indication that this particular operation would be taking place, and on my understanding, I believe that the Government of Canada was not provided with indication that it was going to occur.
Est-ce que vous préparez des plans dans l'éventualité où la situation pourrait se détériorer
where
dans
the
les prochains
situation
jours?
could deteriorate
Puis,
over the
à
next few
quel
days?
moment vous allez
And
être prêt
at
aussi à
what point
contacter les
will you
gens
be
qui se
willing
sont
to
inscrits?
contact people who did register? That's a good question.
We have been hearing from Anita Anand, the Foreign Affairs Minister for our country, on what's been going on in Mexico. And a lot of Canadians still there, unsure when they're coming home with all the violence escalating.